country, and I think it's, it's the only way that we're going to save this country if people can find a way to unify, people from the left and the right, and to build the kind of populist movement that my father was able to build in 1968.
What has it been like? What has the experience been like for you of making the decision to run and then now running and doing these interviews and seeing all these hit pieces written about you and even in the New York Times? What has this been like?
Well, at least they're writing something about me.
Yeah.
But, I'll tell you what, it's been wonderful. It's been amazing, and my biggest worry is Cheryl, because she's happy doing it.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Just explain to people.
And she says to send you her love. But it's been good. I mean, we've gotten extraordinary traction. And the thing is that I'm not going to win this by winning the sympathies of the mainstream media. I really think these podcasts have the capacity to change politics in this country this year. And, it's interesting because in 1960, my uncle, President Kennedy, had, realized that this new media called television, which had never been used in a political campaign before, was a media that was very friendly to him for a variety of reasons. In other words, it was a media that he was able to master pretty well, that people liked to see him on it. And it won him the election, which was the narrowest election at that time in American history. And then in 2016, Donald Trump recognized a new technology, which was Twitter, which that he could communicate in this kind of way that was unique to him. These kind of sound bites, very powerful sound bite, outrageous remarks on Twitter that got him these, that built him an audience, a very loyal, and everybody thought he was crazy. But he was able to take that technology and really, turn it into and weaponize it politically.
Well, also go ahead, please.
Well, I'm not saying that's the only thing, but that he did. He had
Yeah.
a lot of other stuff going for him, but he had a new media, what I'm saying, and I think this year the podcasts are going to have the potential to revolutionize American politics, because for the first time you can end run the mainstream media. I mean, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, that CNN now has a viewership of, I think, something like 350,000 people a night. Tucker, when he was at Fox, had a viewership at the end about 4.5 million. So he was 10 times as big as CNN. And you at your top, like McCulloch, I think you were getting almost 40 million or something, maybe more. I don't know what it is, but you are then 10 times bigger than Tucker and 100 times bigger than CNN. And there's a lot of people out there, and this is, for me, it's a good media, for a variety of reasons, and I've been able to reach a lot of people. It's a very, very populist media. It reaches people who are on the far left and on the far right, and it kind of unifies them. And those are, the audience that I think I'm most likely to. My campaign is about bringing those two groups together, the left and the right, in a populist movement. And I think podcasts may be a formula for doing that.
I think you're probably right. And I think there's a lot more that are going to be willing to have you on. The question is going to be, like, what happens with those episodes on YouTube?
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about this with this episode, but with other people, they would. People that I know would probably be interested in having you on, but YouTube dangles those strikes over your head, and they also dangle demonetization over your head, which is so. Say if you have an episode that's very popular but controversial, they can demonetize that episode, and if they choose to do so, you lose all the revenue, which could be pretty substantial, and so people self-censor because of that.
Yeah, but the thing is that I'm not running on vaccines.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It doesn't matter.
You know,
though.
if people, the only time that I will talk about vaccines is if somebody asks me about it. If you wanted to do this whole interview and never talk about vaccines, it would be
Yeah.
fine for me. I mean, I think I'll never do an interview like this again, probably, because this is the only place I could do this and really sort of lay out the whole thing. Otherwise, this would not survive for 2 minutes.
Right.